Hello and welcome to my channel. I'm Tiffany, a retired librarian turned homeschool mom. And in this video, we're going to look at one of our other nonfiction books. So this is Weird Ghosts. It's compiled by Joanne Austin and presented by Mike Moran and Mark Sceurman. So this is true tales of Eeriest legends and hair-raising hauntings across America. So again, this is a mixture of just kind of legends and folk tales and things that go bump in the night, so to speak. Sometimes they're true, sometimes they have history. So like similar books I'm going through this month with these things. I can't read through them. I am aware of them. These are something that I would buy, but we're going to kind of read through the stories, the basically table of contents, to give you an idea of what the heck is in these things. So again, similar to a lot of these, depending on what you're reading and your age level of your kids, late middle school and up would be my recommendation. For reading on their own, I guess unless your middle schooler is really, really good at reading, I'm going to say, or your elementary school, late elementary, maybe 5th, 6th grade at the earliest when a book like this. Again, also depends on their personality. If they don't like scary stuff, of course this isn't going to appeal to them at all, because it's a scary book, well, to an extent. So let's get a look. So I'm going to start off with a chapter on haunted houses. So we have the rental in the Sourlands. Some things are best left alone. Peaceful coexistence. One child story. Man of the house. Famous crime. Famous crime and stubborn bloodstain are one story. And The Haunting of Summerwind. So that's houses. And then you have Terrifying Travels. So I'm guessing this is, let me actually look at these. So let's have a look. So the rental in the Sourlands is New Jersey. So there's quite a few pictures in here. Looks like there's peaceful coexistence. So this is talking about different things. So these are the full-on story. So this has a decent side. The one child story is from Illinois, or Missouri. Yeah, apparently the family was from Illinois, and this is in a small town in Missouri. So Man of the House is, let's see, where is this? Union, Missouri. That's where the story takes place. And let's see. Famous crime, stubborn blood looks like. Let's see. Where is this? Apparently this is a Kansas. And then The Haunting at Summerwind is Wisconsin. So it's apparently one of the most famous hauntings there. Various different. Then it has a story of a zombie road. So this is Terrifying Travels. This is the next chapter. So you have quite a few. It's a very interesting looking book. So this takes place in St. Louis, Missouri. So you have quite a few pictures. So this does a lot of the history. So this explains a lot of the history of it, which is always interesting to me. So this is the history of stuff. So let us see. So that's that story. And then A Trip to Cursed Town. So this is Wisconsin. And you have some great photography here. Particularly if you're interested in travel and you're traveling across the country, this book would be good to look at some of the history. The Cotton Mill Ghost. This is from Burlington, Vermont. So, and then The Bridge on White Lady Lane. This is North Dakota. So, Terrifying Travels. And then we're moving on to chapter 3, which is Historic Haunts. There's a lot of interesting information here. New Orleans Haunted Mansion. You can't actually visit this. This is the La Laurie Mansion in New Orleans. You can look on the outside. I think I have pictures of it somewhere, because I was in New Orleans. Right before my daughter was born. So, yeah, I know this story. This is where the mistress who owned it was torturing her slaves. This is not for the faint of heart. And yeah, that is a true story. That's history. The house was once owned by, what is his name? Oh, deranged actor. I think I covered last month. National Treasure. Him. Right around the same time he was, being famous for National Treasure. So, yeah, he bought up a bunch of stuff in New Orleans, including a pyramid-shaped tomb. That's the only thing he still owns. Because, Cage. And as his name comes to me, Nicolas Cage once owned Mallory Mansion. It's obviously a private residence and owned by somebody else now. All right, temporary lodger, which is one again. So this is talking about La Laurie in New Orleans. Moving on. The famous market spirits. So this is Seattle. Some pictures of old Seattle. Hopefully we'll visit there someday. It's on the list. The spirits of Antietam. So this is Civil War. So where is this? Maryland. Antietam battlefield. Civil War is not my expertise. So let's see. Haunting launch pad. Haunted launch pad. So we're talking space program here. So this is Kennedy Space Center. So guessing this is the one where they were killed during one of the capsules. So let's see, moving on. Strange Nights at Fort Mifflin. That is Philadelphia. There's very, very interesting pictures here. So this is, you could probably read this to a younger kid. They might be interested. Again, it depends on temperament. So the Ghost of Donner State Park. So this is talking about the Donner Party. Settlers who got stuck in a snowstorm and ate each other. So that's the Donner Party. So this is California. No, they're heading west to California. Where on earth is this? I think this is early California. The Donner Party. Because it could be Colorado. Donner State Park. And it's not telling me in detail where the heck it's at. So it's Donner State Park, which I think is possibly in California. It's in the Rocky Mountains somewhere, which, is a large thing. So it's possibly Nevada. Let's see, Donner Party. Are you actually going to tell me where the heck this is? No, of course not. They were on their way to California. Some of them actually went there. But moving on. No, it is California. Very on. It gives me the address. It's always a good thing. Music Loving Mary. This is the Opium Theater in Memphis, Tennessee. And then Ghosts of Gettysburg. Obviously, there are Ghosts of Gettysburg. And that's Virginia. Gettysburg. The Ghost That Moved. Interesting. Vermont. Skip through some of these a little bit faster here, because otherwise these videos have a tendency to be very, very long. So next, chapter 4 is Otherworldly Outdoors. So now I have a meowing cat. All right, and of course I'm having trouble. These are library books. So let us see. So the world's largest haunted place. Let's see. This is in Kentucky, so it's Mammoth Cave National Park. So probably mining, in Kentucky. All right, let's see. Yeah, this is mining. The Mount of Tom Bear. So let us see. This is. Are you going to actually give me an address here? No. Where on earth is this taking place? I'm meowing cat. Wisconsin. So that's in Wisconsin. Moving on, the Ghost of Fiddler's Rock. So this is Tennessee. So this is more of a tale than a actual haunted story. So some of these are folk tales or legends, so to speak. Wonderful. This is, and I can't pronounce this, and I should. This is my home state. The incident at, I'm not going to pronounce this. My Hawaiian is way too off. So this has to do with, this is on Molokai. So this is most likely has to do with the lepers. Yeah, small shines. I have a meowing cat here. So, yeah, this is probably having to do with, yeah, this is Molokai. So, this has to do with the lepers. So, if you're not familiar with Hawaiian history, I am, obviously. Grew up there, went to 5th grade. That's when I learned my state history. Happened to be the history of an entire country that was conquered. But they had an island specifically for the lepers, and they were pretty much sent there to die. And that was Molokai. And so they were sent off to the island, and I'm not surprised it would be haunted. I mean, they were in horrible conditions. Cat, I will let you in later. All right. The Headless Boatman, which is between Fredericksburg and Milltown, Indiana. And now moving on to chapter 5, Ghostly Graveyards. So, Black Angel's Eyes in Iowa City. The Ghosts of Greenwood, which is in Illinois. Don't Go Alone. So again, some of these are just tales that are told as opposed to histories. This is California. And specifically Wineness of Paso Robles, California. Moving on. Pinewoods of Scratcher. Interesting. This is Pinewood Cemetery, Brunswick, New York. Interesting. Rose Hill's Present Phantoms. So this is a Rose Hill Cemetery in Nortonville and Summersville, California. Then let's see. The Witch's Ball here, which is the Myrtle Hill Cemetery in Valley City, Ohio. And then you have Lady in Gray, which is, again, this is Columbus, Ohio. It's my father's home state, Ohio, as well as my mother's mother, my grandmother on that side. Never met her. She died a long, long time ago, back when my mother was like 19. Circumstances. And I will not go into. Ghost sightings in Fort Boise. So this is Boise, Idaho. This is interesting. I may have been there. In Boise. I've been to Boise. My husband has family there. And actually northern, about 2 miles north there. Let's see. Ghost of Little Gracie. That is a story. Where is this? Let's see. Where on earth is this? Georgia. So this is Savannah. Savannah's known to be very haunted. Kendra, I will let you in just a little bit. Let me get this. Let's see. The Tombstone Lay, which is Hawaii. Welcome to Spooksville. Interesting. This story takes place in New Jersey. Katie Likes Flowers. So this is an interesting. More gravestones. And this is New Jersey. Then Hostile Environments. This looks like hotels. So let's see. The Bullock Hotel, which is in Deadwood, South Dakota. So these are getting a little bit longer. The 1790 Inn. This story takes place in Savannah, Georgia. Not surprising. Again, one of the most haunted places in the United States. The Golden Lamb, which is in Lebanon, Ohio. So this is pretty much this is the United States. The Halloween Waiter. It's like this is in Hawaii. So Hawaii's actually being decently represented in this book. That's interesting. Normally it's forgotten. This is in Lanai, one of the islands. Let's see. Charles Gate Hotel. This is the former Charles Gate Hotel. It's now in Boston. Let's see. Or always was in Boston. It's now not a hotel. All right. Let's move on. Twitter. The Tiltlewater. Birmingham, Alabama. The Stone Lion Inn. Let's see. Where is this? Oklahoma. So, in Guthrie, Oklahoma. Interesting. I have family that normally lives in Oklahoma. I think they're currently in Arkansas on my husband's side. Whispers at the Farnsworth. Now, sometimes you have these little shorter stories that are kind of thrown in there. This is Gettysburg. So, the Basalms, maybe mispronouncing this. This is New Hampshire. There's quite a few interesting tales here. So, right, interesting bits of information. Always interesting in some of the history. Edgingfield, and this is in Portland, Oregon, I believe. Yes. I was going to give you a bunch of other history. Robert the Doll. This is in the Florida Keys. I've heard of this story. That thing is creepy. The doll is currently in location, I believe, in the Florida Keys. Yeah, it's the doll of a famous poet, and he would always blame. Basically, he was bad, and it was the doll's fault, and supposedly the doll is demonic. One of those things. So let's move on. That's in Florida. Let's see. Move on. Eerie eateries and spooky saloons. Oh dear. We're nearing the end. Stone's Public House in Salem, Massachusetts. No. Another haunted place in the United States. The Lamp Mansion. That is in St. Louis, Missouri, I'm assuming. Yeah. Let's move on. All right. There's a couple the sliding candle. Some of these these are little stories. Someone tell me quickly. No, this is still part of the Lamp Mansion. Moving on. The Ghosts of Market Square. So this is Texas, downtown Houston. That'll be interesting. That's downtown Houston, probably huge. Let's see. The Encounter in a Powder Room. This is in the Poconos in Pennsylvania, the town of Tarnasville. Probably mispronouncing that. The Spirits of C Street. Now this sounds interesting. The Sierra Nevada. I really wish I had time to read these things, but I have a 2-year-old. I have enough trouble just trying to read regular fiction books these days, let alone something quite this big. Very, very big book. Let's see. Spirits in Uniform. So this sounds interesting. New Jersey. Outside Ewing. I'm probably mispronouncing this, let alone I don't speak New Jersey. So this is in New Jersey. Is Al here too? Oh, this looks like an old one. Revolutionary War. Let's see, when is this? Delaware. Let's see, Mischief at the Country Tavern is, again, we're in New England, so this is New Hampshire. So it does go all over the U.S., which is always a good thing. The Gold Canyon Steakhouse, interesting. Nevada, Dayton, Nevada. Let's see. So these are going to be a mixture of just old tales. Let's see. This is one of those old taverns with that's Marilyn Monroe there. Very beautiful woman. And Clark Gable. All right. School ghouls. Oh, haunted schools are always interesting. Let's see. The Ghost Who Cares. This is in a college in New Hampshire. Let's see. Let's skip that thing. One of the inserts. Eastern Illinois University. So this is just going over its hauntings. The Frat Boy Ghost. Kenyon College in Ohio. Let's see. There's the Dominican College Pacer, which is Dominican College in Orangeburg, New York, not New Jersey. Wrong state. North Dallas High School, so obviously that's going to be Dallas, Texas. The Southern Vermont College, so another place that's very beautiful, but again, haunted, apparently. Mr. Hobart's Son, this is William Patterson University in Wayne, New Jersey. Spirit Ametreus, the University of West Alabama in Sumter County. Never been to Alabama. Growing up in Hawaii, I have not been to many states. All right, and let's see. Almost through here. very end of the book here. Phantom Theater Goers. So this is something in a theater rather than a college. Emerson College's theater. So this is Emerson College. If I can, no idea where the heck this is. Apparently paying some stuff that's not going to give me a state. So here it is, Boston. Not familiar with most of the United States. Again, I grew up in Arizona and Hawaii, so pretty much on the West Coast. Institutional apparitions. So we're gonna probably touch on Alcatraz. Of course, everything's gonna talk about Alcatraz. If you're not familiar where that is, it's an interesting little island in San Francisco Bay. Far more interesting is Angel Island, which has an interesting, much darker history. It's the Ellis Island of the West. Eventually, I will probably, hopefully, read more up on that. Let's see. I'll deal with, most people know these tales. The old Idaho State Penitentiary. I've been there. Let's see. Last time you see this, I will have been there the previous summer. This is being filmed in January 2022. I was at Old Idaho State Penitentiary when I was on vacation with my husband visiting family this past summer with our daughter. So we actually have been into the state penitentiary. It's actually very interesting. If you happen to be in Boise, it's an interesting look. It's a very interesting little place. So California Dreaming is the next story here, which is obviously in California, where some sort of mental hospital. So somewhere in California. Let's see. Channel Islands, California. Oh, in Carmelo, California. So interesting. Spirits in Solitary. This is oddly enough in Yuma, Arizona. Territorial prison. Like an interesting place to visit if I ever bothered to go to Yuma. Let's see. Is that the Old Wyoming State Penitentiary? Obviously, it's in Wyoming. Where in Wyoming, though? Walnut Street, Rawlins, Wyoming. And let's see. And that's the end of the book. So, very interesting, very large, decently heavy book. A lot of history, a lot of legends. Old legends, possibly old wives' tales. Various legends of different places. Good if you're looking for some dark stuff, haunting stuff, history stuff. Reading-wise, depending on your child's personality, probably no earlier than late middle school. You might be able to read this to younger kids if they're interested. But I don't think they can, unless they have a really high reading level. I don't think the younger elementary, probably the oldest would maybe be 5th grade. 5th, 6th grade would be the oldest, in my opinion. Here on reading this type of book. Reading to, again, parents can read into anything to their kids. It depends on their personality. So, good thing if you're like driving through the U.S., the travel homeschoolers, or you happen to be going to different places. It's kind of a great little coffee table book if you're interested in these types of things. It might be on my list. I'm interested in these types of things. That's the reason I'm covering them. So that's really it for this video here. If you like what you see, be sure to check out the rest of my channel. I do a lot of these this October for October of 2022, nonfiction hauntings. I do a wide variety of books, fiction, nonfiction. I'm doing a horror series right now that's going to be running through when I'm running this. It started back in August. That would be the Last Apprentice series. That'll probably be the last fictional horror book series that I will cover. I am not fond of that genre, but I started it, so I finished it. So I also do regular fiction series, children's books, picture books, various film reviews. So be sure to check out everything I've got. Like and subscribe. Leave a positive comment if you have one. Besides book reviews, I will do travel reviews. We've done, as of this filming, I did talk about our trip to Idaho. We will probably be going back to Idaho at some point, so possibly by the time you see this video, I'll have done another trip to Idaho, this time with a 3-year-old. So along with various other secular homeschooling stuff, particularly as my daughter gets older. By the time you guys see this, she will in fact be 3. As of the time I'm filming this, she's about 3 weeks shy of 2.5. So that is it for this review. If you like what you see, like and subscribe. Thank you.